The Torah often is known for its brevity, where it describes certain episodes and stories. It leaves out many key details. For example, when you come to the story of Yosef, the Torah leaves it very vague and unclear who exactly sold Yosef. Or when it comes to last week's parsha as well, the story of Akedat Yitzchak, also unclear some of the important details, any discussions that might have gone on between Abraham and Yitzchak, etc. And then you come to this week's parsha, where we have two episodes which really dominate the entire parsha, and where the Torah is certainly not brief. The Torah goes into much detail to describe these two stories. The two stories being, first, Abraham going to buying a plot of land in order to bury Sarah. It describes the entire negotiation process that Abraham went through with the Chittim and with Ephron in order to buy it. And then the episode following as well, with Abraham sending off his messenger in order to find Yitzchak a wife. There too, the Torah describes in great detail the entire episode, and not only does it describe it once, but then it recaps it when Abraham's servant tells it again to Lavan a second time. And the question really is, why is it for these two episodes in the parsha does the Torah have to go into detail, great detail, in order to get the point across? And Rabbi Jonathan Sachs explains that before this parsha, in the two previous parshiot, Abraham is really given two promises from God. He's given a promise that he will inherit the land of Israel, and he's also given a promise that his children, that his offspring will be numerous. And until this point, none of those promises have really been fulfilled. He doesn't really own anything in the land of Israel. And in terms of offspring, he kicked out Ishmael. He only had Yitzchak. He almost had to sacrifice Yitzchak. And Yitzchak himself had no children. So if Yitzchak passed away without having any children, his lineage would be done. So Abraham really takes it into his own hands in this week's parsha in order to make sure that those two promises that God gave him were fulfilled. And he takes great effort into making sure to buy a plot of land, to make sure it's undisputed, to make sure that everyone knows that he bought a plot of land in Israel that he could bury Sarah. And for Yitzchak as well, he wanted to make sure, even though he himself didn't go, to send his servant at least to make sure to take the effort to make sure to find a suitable wife for Yitzchak in order that he too could have children and the generations could continue. And therefore the Torah wants to go into great detail in describing these two episodes, really in order to show Abraham's care for the matter and to show that even though he received these promises, it didn't mean that Abraham could just sit back waiting for God in order to give it to him, but he himself had to take the effort and expend the energy in order to make sure that both of those promises were fulfilled. And obviously the message for us, where we don't even necessarily have these promises from God, is to also, when we want something to be done and make sure it's finished, we have to make sure in order to put in that same effort and energy in order to make sure the task is completed. Have yourself a great Shabbos.